they can't refuse because of the implication.
Spoilers ahead for My Hero Academia. Movie 2, Episode 2. I don't know what it is. Heroes Rising.
Movie 2, Heroes Rising.
It's a lot to say. So this movie originally came out in Japan in 2019. It was released earlier this year in the US with a dub. And now we finally got it on digital, Blu-ray, all that stuff. The weird thing about it is I found this on Amazon Prime with the dub, but not Google Play, which Google Play is usually where I watch my digital stuff. So I don't know what the delay is there, but whatever. Jeremy, initial thoughts on My Hero Movie 2?
It was good for what it was, but after the first movie, my expectations were pretty high because I really liked the first movie, and this one kind of did not live up to it.
Yeah, what in particular?
I mean, just overall, the characters in the first one I thought were better. The villain in the first one was much better. The side characters in this one were, I don't know. It had some awesome scenes, but the build up was kind of a build down for me. I got kind of bored in that first 50 minutes.
Sure.
I mean, how many times did we see that tractor charging scene? And Rocket League legs running around with that old lady on his back. I'm pretty sure that's like a weird sexual thing I'm not getting.
So they do a little bit well, and then typically you'll have Present Mike shout everyone's quirks and such and who they are. They didn't really do that in this one. This one kind of, I think they go into it thinking, okay, you're watching this, you already know the deal.
Yeah.
Typically they'll, the first movie, you can jump off from that point. Even though it's a bit into the story, you can still, they shout everyone's names and they introduce them really quickly. So
yeah, this movie references the series several times.
Yep.
And the first one was kind of a bit more standalone. Like, you could watch the first movie without having watched the anime. If you watch this movie without having memorized the anime, you're going to be very confused.
Yeah.
Like, do not miss the second half of season 4 or you're going to be fucked.
Yeah, this movie falls. I don't know if it's directly after the end of the Chisaki arc or it's after the end of the festival they have after, but it's after season 4 for sure. After the important stuff.
It's after Endeavor I think it's after the end of season 4, because it shows like Endeavor crying, and he didn't learn how to cry until he had that fight with the
flying guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And we do get a lot of Hawks in this one, and he was introduced towards the end of. We hear about him throughout the story, but he's introduced at the end of 4.
Yeah, like Hawks just shows up without like an announcement or anything.
Yeah. So there was a lot of that. They do go over the basic issues of part of the story where it's like 80% of the world has quirks, blah blah blah, that we hear at the beginning of every single episode. So
yeah, I also I think I prefer the show animation style to this movie.
Yep. Wait, really?
Yeah.
I thought the animation was awesome in this.
The opening was really weird to me. Like, the way the cars were animated was strange.
Yeah.
Like the car chase in the beginning. Like, why are they having a car chase? Like, a third of the world can fly.
It was an awesome car chase, though. So, yeah, in the beginning, we see Rocklock, who we meet in season 4, and a couple others are chasing the League of Villains. So
they also kind of semi-randomly drop CGI in there. The most egregious is all the clouds from the villain at the end, but there's CGI scattered throughout the show that kind of jumped me out of it.
Right. Yeah, and sometimes when like the final villain, when he's like summoning his weather stuff, that looked really amazing too. Especially like the clouds and stuff. You can really tell the difference. I mean, let's be fair, the regular
so you
animation,
like the cloud CGI?
Yeah.
Okay.
The regular animation isn't bad at all, but like if you look at Dragon Ball Super movies versus the anime, the regular show, it's so different that it's like almost jarring. If you ever put them side by side, it's really bad.
Okay, I watched part of one of the Dragon Ball Z movies. I thought that they just edited the show into a movie. I didn't realize it was its own thing.
Yeah, the animation is real bad.
But it's the same story. Why would they animate it twice?
Because they did the movies first, and now you have to draw it out into a 150 episode anime. So,
okay, so I guess I accidentally did the right thing by just watching the show.
Yep.
I like that show. It was all right.
Sure, of course.
But yeah, I mean, back to this movie. I mean, there's a lot to like on here. All of our regular cast of characters. I mean, I enjoyed them being in here. It kind of showed a lot of teamwork, which the TV show has not really had much. It's had some teamwork, but not enough to be like a bunch of class projects for fighting villains.
Right.
So I appreciated that, but I just couldn't get over the villains in this, and I thought the movie was a little bit too. Obviously, a show about superheroes is going to have some unrealistic things, but they're a little too careless with the way they kind of operate in the world. Like right off the bat in the beginning, Midoriya, Float Tank Girl, and who else went with them? Go to the mall to find a missing kid, and their way of getting there, they're not going to like ride bicycles or take a cab or anything. No. Midoriya puts an inner tube around his waist. Float Tank Girl makes everyone except Midoriya weightless, and then he runs there at breakneck speed with the other two just hanging off the inner tube like. And then when they get within jumping distance, he fucking yeets himself into the air. I mean, can he fly now? Like, how does he pick a landing spot?
He's like classic Superman now, where he never used to be able to fly. He could just jump, like, bound really far. So that's how Deku does it. Yeah,
and I was like, I mean, I get having to like take the risky run, like, you know, we're chasing Godzilla, but there's a kid lost in a mall. He's fine. Check the toy department.
Yeah, and allegedly,
he's either in the toy department or he's with his he's with his biological father. Those are two options.
Yeah, and this is allegedly a really nice place because the premise of this movie is they send all the kids to this island where all the heroes retired. They're getting old and they retired. So the heroes during the summer, I guess, are just protecting this island by themselves, the Class 1A students. So
they're doing Final Fantasy level 1 quests. Charge the tractor battery, find the cat, deliver milk, help an old lady across the street. They're doing Boy Scout work, not superhero work.
Right. It's like they do FF Final Fantasy level 1 stuff, and then by the end of the movie, they're doing Apocalypse.
They're fighting God, yes.
Final Fantasy. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I did like the premise of this movie, but for a group of kids who everywhere they go, trouble follows them.
Yeah.
Why are you sending them by themselves? I get that there wouldn't be a story without it, but like every single time they do something, they try to go to summer camp. They're in trouble. They try to do this. They try to do that. Kids are getting kidnapped.
You're basically reading one of my points. You're reading my third point. You're reading point 4 out of 24 right now. Continue reading.
So essentially, they're just responding to basic calls, as Jeremy was saying, and for some reason, my autocorrect changed Nabu Island to Baby Island. Kind of fits. And there's this little shit there, this little girl that she can create illusions, which I was confused as to why they were saying that the powers are hereditary, but she doesn't have the same powers as her dad, which quirks were stolen by All for One Junior guy. I didn't really understand that. Because I thought I thought the illusion quirk is what he was going for, but it wasn't.
No, because illusions and activating cells, whatever that means. Are cells deactivated most of the time?
I have no idea.
Like how are my muscles working if my muscle cells aren't activated?
We got to call up Jeff, our cell specialist, to see what this means.
And he does cell phones. He's trying to sell you a cell phone, Dan.
Yep. And I wanted to point out that while they're doing their little responding to their calls and such, getting cats out of trees and things like that, the one girl, Hagakure, she's the invisible girl. All you see the whole movie is gloves floating, so she's naked. Just saying. I just want to put that in your head. So she's doing everything naked.
Wear some pants, you weirdo.
Yeah. She needs a costume that can go invisible, like an invisible girl. So.
I just had a bunch of questions pop in my head. I'm not going to ask them.
Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed, which probably says more about me than the creator of this show, but, whatever. And Deku does say one thing to the little kid, the girl's sister. So they do a fake, she does an illusion, makes it look like there's a giant mantis downtown because she hates heroes for some reason. She's kind of like the little boy from season 3.
Yeah, I have a note here saying someone hating on Deku for no reason. The trope continues. It's episode 3 of every single season. Deku, you shithead!
At one point, Bakugo, he's like talking to Deku normally. It's like, wait, why isn't he screaming? Oh, he's screaming at him.
Yeah, they decided to. Right, I don't know what's going on with his character in this movie. Yeah. It's just like sometimes he's yelling for no reason, other times he's just cooperating right away
for no reason to his character. And so,
I mean, I get cooperating when there's a villain nearby, but like they're hanging around eating a popsicle.
Yeah.
At one point, and one of my things is like, wait a minute, well, why is Bakugo or Hate Boner, what's his name? Bakugo?
Yeah.
Why is he just standing there next to Deku without screaming for no reason?
That is a good question. And
just like they didn't, no one proofread this for consistency.
Right. And so the giant mantis Bakugo figures out pretty quickly that it's an illusion, and he just starts screaming at the kids, which is great. Just like
it's the first time in the series he's screaming for a good reason.
Yeah.
5 seasons, 2 movies, he's right for 30 seconds about something. Everyone take note.
And Deku's training, and he's doing like these kicks, and he's going 1,324, 1,325. Which are the numbers I use when someone walks in on me exercising. I'm really on like push-up number 12. I'm like 1,486.
You got to start off at 998. 998. 999. 1,000. All right, that's my first set done.
Set 1 in the bag. Not even sweating yet. It was pretty great.
Yeah, because like did he eat lunch? Like how fast was he kicking for the first 1,000 if it's still like twilight out and they had dinner?
Yeah, and there was no time lapse like 3 days later. SpongeBob.
Did he? Is he picking up count from yesterday? Yesterday he stopped at 950.
That's how many he's done this month. Yeah.
That's why it's taking him 4 seasons to learn his quirk. All of his training happens on screen. He's just watching TV the rest of the time.
Yep. So, okay. Now, I'm caught up on the manga. Jeremy's not. So, did you see the doctor in this movie? The doctor that kind of gives Nine, this guy's name is, the All for One quirk.
I'm pretty sure that the Doctor is in one of the seasons of the anime.
He is. Do you remember which? And do you remember where you've seen him?
I know he was doing some. I know he's in the League of Villains, but I don't remember like what his platform. I think he did. I think he was part of the team that was trying to dissect the girl with the unicorn horn.
So,
is that right?
No.
No.
So you see him in season 1, episode 1, telling Deku he doesn't have a quirk. Now think about that for a second.
You see him in season 1, episode 1. No way. Are you serious?
He is the doctor that tells Deku he doesn't have a quirk. So,
what kind of mother takes her son to go to send a Dr. Robotnik?
yeah, right. So the theory is, which is a pretty solid one at this point, the theory is this doctor, Deku, was actually born with a quirk. And this doctor is working with All for One because All for One steals quirks from people. And every kid that comes in with with a quirk, he gives All for One the heads up and steals the quirk. So aside from the doctor, we have all the villains. The League of Villains are here. Himika Toga, Jin Babakawara, Dabi, and Shigaraki. Tomura Shigaraki. Damn, I remembered all of them. And the main villain in this series, in this movie, is a quirk thief, just like All for One. And we find out that the doctor, All for One's doctor, is the one who passed the quirk onto him, and his name is Nine in this movie, meaning he can take quirks from 9 people at once. He changed his name when he got the quirk? I guess.
Why didn't Midoriya change his name? My name is Punch.
Yeah. Well, he got to pick his hero name and chose Deku because Booby Girl wanted him to. So.
I mean, we've all done worse.
Yep. That's true. I changed my actual name. No. And I guess, I don't know if they specified or maybe I just missed it. Can he, let's say the first 9 quirks he finds are mediocre. Can he, get rid of one to replace another?
I think he must have the option because unless he showed up at the island with less than 9 quirks, he had to be able to trade them out because he tried to take the quirk from Midoriya.
All right, so we covered the giant mantis illusion, Bakugo screaming at children, which is great. And this time there are actual real villains, and this is kind of where the movie picks up, right? So they kind of dispatch to all different places. For being these kids, they're really smart and tactful and things. So they kind of, especially with Ida and Momo, they kind of know where to place everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So which is good, and we do have all 20 Class 1A students, even though some of them get more screen time than others. Which my boy Mineta is in this, so it's all good.
Yeah, I have a note here. Say what you will about Ballhead, but every time this guy fights, he has to pull his own scalp out.
Yeah.
I mean, you think you're tough. Go ahead and grab a handful of hair and pull it out. Let's see how you're feeling.
And then after
he's not just
out,
detaching something like shelling peanuts. His scalp is bleeding.
Yeah. And then after you pull that chunk of hair out, pull an exact same chunk of hair out from the exact same spot. It's like, that spot was already sore. You're going to do it again.
Yeah. I never understood how he got into Class 1A. They're he uses his quirk strategically when someone else tells him to.
Yeah.
But they didn't show him taking down robots in the exam.
He must have just used a sticky ball. Oh, I love that guy. He's my favorite.
Yeah, and I think the movie kind of gets away. Like in the TV show, people usually don't die, but in this movie, Hate Boner is trying to kill people.
Yeah.
Like 4 times he throws a fireball at someone and tells them to die. I mean, they never do because nothing to the movie yet, but
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. Like, I don't think he was trying to kill people in the show, except for Deku, of course.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and I don't even know if he tried this time, but
I feel like when you look at a human being in the face and make a 45-foot fireball, you're trying to kill them.
yeah, that's true.
But then again, this movie kind of has cartoon physics. Like when Nine tries to steal the power from the other city.
Yeah.
I mean, they just yeet that guy's truck with him in it, and he's fine. He's completely fine. Like that truck flies like 40 feet. No human's gonna live through that.
You're using this word yeet, and it's awesome. I don't know what it means, but I like it.
Yeet is started off as a meme of like some band kids doing like a weird dance while they yelled yeet. But now it's grown to mean like you're throwing something.
Sure.
So like I want All Might to yeet Bakugo into the sky.
Right. Okay.
Or
fair enough.
Yeah. I've been on the internet since a 56K modem was the fast one. And yeet is the favorite
What is it now?
my favorite thing to come out of the internet. What?
What are the motives now? 57K? I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Continue.
speeds have more than doubled.
This time they have real villains. There's communications are knocked out by a wolf boy guy. And
They don't just have real villains. They have villains that are stronger than anything that All Might has fought on screen.
yeah, except the Nomu that he obliterates. Spoilers ahead.
Yeah, I feel like these guys are stronger than the Nomu from season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, obviously, what's that guy's name? One for all.
All for one.
All for one. I'm not going to mess that up constantly. Obviously, he's a lot stronger because he's like the perfected version of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this guy burns down a city while casually holding a conversation.
Yeah.
While he's in the process of having his body reject a quirk.
Yeah. And also All for One has his own theme music, so he wins there.
Yeah.
That's always good.
He has the best theme music in the game, to be clear.
Yeah.
Not the game, the
Either way.
show.
Wherever he is, he has the best theme music. Other than Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, so after our guy 9 shows off multiple quirks, Deku decides to get within arm's reach because it's not completely obvious yet that he has All for One's power. So let's just double check and get face palmed.
Yep.
And also, does having your quirk stolen make you like freeze up like a rabbit or something? Like every time that guy gets his hand on someone, they just freeze. Like he's within ball kicking range. Come on.
Yeah. That could be one of his 9 quirks. Maybe he paralyzes them to.
I mean, that's a good point, but like usually quirks have some sort of animation or Deku like thinks about it for a second.
Right. Yeah, and mutters to himself for 20 minutes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like they should have like a flashback to when that quirk was first discovered.
We didn't get any mutter action during this movie, so that was a little disappointing.
I mean, okay.
So for this villain, how many quirks do we see? So we see laser fingers. We see the shield that is goddamn indestructible. Okay, that shield. Whoever he stole that from is very disappointed because that thing is amazing. And then the other one is like Dragon Fist, like he has Goku's Dragon Fist, right? And is that all we see out of the 9?
Now, when you say the dragon, so are you talking about like the blue like centipede thing?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's the lightning.
Okay, sure.
When he levels multiple cities.
Yeah, easily.
Okay. I need to talk about that scene where when he's casually destroying a city.
Hmm.
Like, is this city just empty of everyone except for one guy with a quirk? Like, he burns down multiple skyscrapers.
Right.
There's no follow up to that.
I
He burns
I guess
down
not.
an entire city with a lightning storm.
Hmm.
And there's no like talk. There's no one talks about cats. The entire show centers around saving one kid and a couple of heroes almost dying. An entire city is gone. It's like 500,000 people dead.
Right.
But that's just a prequel to him chasing a kid around an island that he could have destroyed in a single thought. By the way, he
Right.
could have destroyed that entire island while he was cleaning his fingernails.
The one of the guys that I did really like was the ninja dude who had like Aizawa's bandages, except they were red. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't catch his name, but he was fighting all the guys or all the kids, and then Bakugo comes in. He's like, "What? You can't take one villain? You're pathetic," and then proceeds to get his ass kicked by the same guy.
You're talking about the wolf?
No, the dude with the red bandages who could like control everyone with them. I thought that was
Oh, that's right. I forgot about him.
yeah, he was pretty cool.
He did make a secondary appearance.
No. But he did whip some ass. It was
if he had
almost
just been if he had been anywhere other than completely surrounded the entire time, he would have won.
yeah. And Lightning Boy Kaminari doesn't get a lot of play during the series mostly, but during this one he did. Yeah, I think this is the first time I actually see his equipment where he can control his lightning now, because we were just watching a My Hero episode where he has no control over it. He just blasts wherever, and takes out everything in sight. So I thought that was pretty cool. Nice little update. Because he's a pretty decent character. We don't see him a lot, especially these days, but I like him as well.
Yeah, I wonder how they decided which characters to like make really, really common.
Right. It seemed like for a little while they were kind of rotating everyone, but maybe it's the ones people like. I don't know. Minette is the best. The Wolf Man, he was a pretty good shit talker. He's talk trash in the tentacle dude whose name I always forget. Is it Shoji? The dude with like the bat wing arms or whatever. I don't know what the hell he does, but
He can make body parts. That's why he got like mouths for elbows and stuff.
oh, that's right. And what else do we have? Oh, when Bakugo shows up to the final fight, the two little kids are like, "Oh, it's Mr. Deku, and it's the mean one." That's pretty funny. He's a big meanie face, isn't he? But
yeah, I thought it was interesting. Like the villains, like they destroy all the boats so that no one can leave, as if like 80% of the world has quirks. Someone on this island has a boat quirk. Like there should be. Someone's got a boat quirk or a canoe quirk or something.
Someone has a shipwright quirk out there.
Yeah. Or like a woodworking quirk.
Yeah, do you think if you didn't have a quirk in this world, you'd just kind of be like, "Oh, my quirk is math. Yeah, I'm really good at math." Just that would be pretty great. So you mentioned before the kid can accelerate cells, the main little boy.
Yeah.
What does that mean, actually? Like, is he healing these people? What is he like forwarding time? I don't really know.
Well, we have two pieces of information. One, that animation where like the cell nucleus disappears or lights up. We have that animation where it flashes when something happens. And then we have Deku saying that it accelerates regeneration and increases physical abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess I guess that makes sense. You can like turn a cell up to 11, make the, really power up those mitochondria.
Yeah. Maybe he's fast forwarding his body, so he's really like a 24-year-old now.
I don't know, but I mean, if you can control it, you could also make someone immortal by like making cells not like cells that can't like when you get older, cells can't split and rejuvenate themselves as well. You can just like fix that maybe.
Yeah.
Make someone who's biologically immortal at least.
Right. So after Deku and Bakugo get their ass beat by the main villain, the kid heals him or whatever he does. And when Deku and Bakugo wake up, there was a really annoying part because, okay, if I were to ask you, if Deku and Bakugo are the top two, like the best characters or the best fighters in Class 1A, who is third? It shouldn't take you very long.
I would say that number one's got to be Icy Hot.
Right, he would be.
He only
number
uses
one.
half his powers, so he's not. I don't know. Like
Right,
they really nerfed his ice on this one. Like, I mean, in season 1 or 2, he makes like a coliseum of ice.
Yep.
And in this one, he can't even freeze a small pond.
Right. And what annoyed me is like they were doing this whole rah-rah thing after Deku and Bakugo wake up. And Todoroki, who's icy hot, says, "I'll help with whatever I can." It's like, no.
What?
You're the man.
Listen here, buddy.
Let them help you. Get out there. It was so annoying. Because he's exactly what you said. He's nerfed, and I don't know why. He's the Scarlet Witch of My Hero.
Yeah,
like, legitimately.
That's a really good example.
Yeah. And
it's not as bad as like what they do to Superman in movies. It's what they do to Scarlet Witch.
Yep. Yeah. And the other thing that said that was actually more cringy is Ashido, the pink chick, says Obvi. That was just so hard to listen to. I wish I knew it was coming so I could fast forward a couple seconds. That's something
I didn't
my
even catch the
sister-in-law would say.
I didn't even notice. I guess I was too busy wondering
Yeah.
about everything else I've mentioned so far.
Wonder why Todoroki
And then after the fight,
is
like
badass.
Yeah, and then and then the Duracell guy, or should I call him the Energizer Bunny? He's like charging all these electronics up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so why is he? Can't they just plug them in? Like they got lights on.
Didn't even think of that. Oh boy, yeah, because they knocked out the communications, not the power, or maybe the lights were on because he was lighting them up. I don't know.
That seems a little. I don't know what those things were for because they didn't use them for the big fight. It would have been really useful to have a fully charged 50,000 volt guy hanging around instead of whatever the fuck he was doing back there.
Yeah, instead of engine batteries for cars that they're not going to drive.
Yeah. Then we go into the best part of the movie. It really does make the movie worth watching because like the first 2/3 of the big final fight is awesome.
Yeah.
It's well put together. It's well animated. Yeah. I love the way all the characters get to participate instead of just, watching Bakugo yell.
Yeah, and Deku break his limbs. One thing really quick before they get into the fight is they have like a war table with a map of the island, and they're doing like a 300 style like funnel tactic.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so we're gonna get on this little island and have them all come down this random like beach that's only one strip of land between the two islands. So all I could think about was 300 when the Spartans funnel them through the canyon or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, I didn't really quite understand that. I'm pretty sure the wolf guy can just climb those rocks. I
Can he
really
swim?
doubt a moderately high mountain's going to stop the guy that can punch through, you know, he can punch. No, that guy one hand through boulders bigger than him. I
Yeah.
think he can climb pretty well.
Yep. Yeah, and they do
That guy
as
can
soon.
run up Mount Everest.
Even Aoyama, the guy with the belly laser, he actually gets some good play during this. He does like a freaking overcharge
Oh yeah.
blast, which was pretty awesome.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure why they did that like as an opener. It seems like they should have tried to. They could have at least gone like, what's that behind you?
Yeah, what you do in this case is you set it up exactly how they did with Aoyama and the creator girl up
Yeah.
there while she's creating two giant cannons. But you have Mineta throw sticky balls down there because they haven't seen them yet, right? They're
Yep.
stuck in the balls, and then you blast them. Like that's game over. It well, unless dude sees him with his indestructible shield, then it was all a waste anyways.
Yeah, I think
I
my
don't get
idea would
that.
have been like they had that numbing glue from Frog Girl Sue, I think.
Yeah,
And I think what they should have done is like put that like a big bag or something, and then
Yeah.
just floated above them and done like an airdrop.
yep, I like it.
And then like when they're like, "What's this gooey stuff?" Then Monada's balls start raining from the sky. Like, what the fuck's going on up there? And then
As
the
he
glitter blast
laughs.
happens. What?
As he laughs because his balls are raining from the sky.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
That's how I would have done that one. But what they did, where they combined Float Girl and Bandage Guy together to like just throw rocks everywhere.
hmm
I thought that was really good. I didn't realize that she had upgraded to being able to float multiple things. I thought because in movie one she could only float one thing at a time,
Right.
but in this one she's doing like multiple sections of rocks.
Yeah. That's what she did against Bakugo in the battle tournament thing, which
Mhm.
was pretty sweet. So
Am I
Uh,
misremembering it, or are they just being inconsistent with her power?
uh I think whatever she touches she can control, and then as long as she stays focused on I don't really know the exact things behind it, but
Because you remember when they were climbing the tower, and like she couldn't get away because she couldn't float herself.
right. Because she was out of energy. I don't really remember why.
But she doesn't run out of energy. She can float until she throws up.
Oh yeah. I
She
have
doesn't
no
run out of
idea.
energy. She just throws up and floats again, and then she throws up worser.
Yeah, it sounds pretty inconsistent, but and that's comparing the two movies, of course. Right. So,
Yeah. The tower is in the movie, but I thought that movie happened after the fight where she fought Bakugo.
I believe it did, yeah. Can't remember now, but I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, because Deku can throw punches without delimbing himself
Yeah.
in the movie, and so that has to happen after there because Deku can't do anything in that fight against Todoroki without
Right.
giving himself the purple nurple. The wolf guy, he is crazy overpowered. Like he ragdolls half the team. He then transforms twice, and then he gets a fucking laser. If he had been going seriously the first time, like I don't know, I understand why heroes don't go out because they don't want to kill anyone, but I feel like if that wolf guy had just given it his all at the beginning, they would have gotten that kid.
Right.
I'm not sure if this wolf guy is dedicated to Team 9.
All right.
I really
go
like
for
the
it.
way I really like the way that Todoroki finally did something in the movie when when they made a wolfsicle out of him.
Yep.
But then his line is like, "That's right, hibernate a while." I'm like, "Bitch, that's a 80-foot icicle coming out of that guy's throat. He is dead."
Yeah. Yeah, because he takes the advice his dad gave him, Endeavor, and applies it to the ice side of him, which I thought we were past the I'm not using my fire thing We've used the fire quite a bit. Why are we still playing this game? I don't get it.
You know, I haven't been bringing it up because I thought I would sound like a broken record, and I already do that with Rage Boner.
Yeah.
But yeah, he could at least like thaw himself out with his fireside while he's doing the ice thing.
Right. That's why Endeavor was so hell bent on finding the mother with the ice quirk, even though he didn't love her, breeding with her to find the perfect kid to have 50-50 so that he could do that full prominence burn that Endeavor's been trying to do without, overheating himself.
Do you
But
think
no,
that
we're just gonna
Todoroki
dick
will
around.
marry you think Todoroki will like marry a woman that has like the earth power?
Oh yeah.
Then
Become
like their kid
Captain
can marry
Planet.
a kid who has like the water power, No, they already have the water power. The wind power.
Wind, yeah.
And then they can get the heart power and then the Captain Planet.
How did I think that that's where you were going? Yeah, I like it. I think that's a great idea. Get on it, Todoroki.
Yeah, and then we have some more time of I call the guy Nine Tails because that's how many tails Naruto has.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he catches up to them, like when the kids are running away and he's shambling around like a zombie from Shaun of the Dead. And like they catch up to him, like you've been running for 10 minutes. Did you run around in a circle?
Yep.
He's ahead of us. Run. He's ahead of us again. How's he doing it? The guy's just sitting at a park bench.
You've got red on you.
Yeah, and then like they got weird CGI clouds, and then the boss goes Super Saiyan.
Yep.
When I was watching that scene, I actually stopped and watched the scene where Vegeta talks to Frieza. You don't want to hold anything back against this one, Frieza. You see, he is what you fear more than anything else in the universe. You're dealing with the real Super Saiyan. Yes, you heard me. The legendary warrior, even mightier than you. He stands before you now.
Yep. And then, speaking of Super Saiyan, Deku and Bakugo go Super Saiyan as they like slowly hold their hands out to each other for some reason. Deku passes All for One to no. See, I did the same thing except in reverse. He passes One for All to Bakugo, and they both go Super Saiyan. And for some reason, it seemed like Bakugo's arm instantly broke before they even did anything. Was that just me?
The arm broke. His arm broke when they punched the sky.
Oh, well, that was a smart freaking use of their arms.
Yeah, nothing in the movie to that point explained that the clouds were a source of power.
Yeah.
And then they had a full fight, so they weren't.
Right.
Like, they're not Superman powered by the rays of the sun. I don't know why they did that.
I don't know.
How did Deku get up anyway? Like, he was trapped in the Centipede. He didn't get Bakugo's power. Why is he okay now?
Yeah. That would have been good.
He was down for the count, trying really hard to reach his frenemy. Friend bitching I don't know. But anyway, as soon as they hug, now he's standing up again.
Yep. That's how it works, isn't it?
No.
You hug the guy that hates you, and
only if you're Rogue from X-Men.
You hear that out there? Go hug the guy that hates you, and you'll get untrapped from Goku's Super Dragon Fist. There you go.
Yeah, I didn't really get that. And then the fight just goes in like a Dragon Ball Z fight, where like that's not how their powers work. Where you stand there and grunt to create more energy.
Yeah. It was absolutely a Dragon Ball Z situation.
I haven't known. I thought the kid was going to undo the quirk transfer, but instead it just undid it without a reason.
Yeah. The reason was that the All for One vestiges were like, nah, or something. It was really stupid. So Deku passed it along. It turns out Deku still had the quirk after they defeated the guy, after they defeated Nine, and for some reason Deku and Bakugo are laying next to each other, and Weathered All Might is there. and the quirk stays with Deku, and he's like, "Oh, I guess Bakugo wasn't conscious for long enough, or he went unconscious before the full transfer." It's like,
What?
man, that was a whack explanation.
I mean, okay. This movie undoes the entire first 3 seasons of the show. Let me explain. It takes Deku a ton of work to use his power.
Yeah.
Bakugo punches the fucking sky his first try, and he only turns purple. He still uses his hand for the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
When Deku punches the skyscraper, his arm turns into a cooked noodle.
Yep.
Bakugo is still flexing.
Yeah, because he's a beast. That's why I don't know why he's so upset.
Is he mad
get it.
because he's just good at everything all the time?
Yeah.
He's good at everything except being an interesting character.
Yeah, that's fair. He did have some sweet maneuvers during one of the fights where he.
Oh yeah, his
they
hamster
try and
wheel
play
of
it
death
off
is
as
pretty cool. Yeah.
but it's. Yeah, they do the thing where they say he's really smart, but he's actually just like a freaking pure athlete, and he's just flying around using the change of direction and all that stuff. It's really the one thing I don't get. He's always telling people to die, but one of his moves is called stun grenade. Shouldn't it be called like murder
Kill
grenade or
grenade.
something? Yeah. Yes.
I don't know how you make a stun grenade
the
out of
heroes
Patrick
win, of course. And
Yeah, I mean,
for some reason, Shigaraki shows up, right? And decides to what? Just murder Nine. It's like, oh, there's the end of that chapter.
I mean,
he does Nine way easier than he does Chisaki in season 4. So
yeah,
great.
that's true.
But,
I mean, I have to say though, like the fight up until they kind of get the clamps put on them and they pull the bullshit. Awesome fight up until then.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and nothing in the movie matters. The bad guy is dissolved. Hate Boner had amnesia. It might as well have been a dream. Deku wakes up. What was that? Am I late for school?
Right. It was still a good movie, though. I mean, I'm glad it happened. So, I mean, it actually came out in the perfect time because we've been waiting a while for the next season of My Hero, and now we just get, this action. So, I'm into it.
I'm really into the story of the series, and this movie kind of undoes that.
Yeah.
I feel like I just watched Batman kill somebody.
Yep.
The Superman versus Batman movie where like Batman's like branding people and trying to kill Superman.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I judge this movie.
Sure.
I judge this movie to be equal to Batman v Superman. Which I watched it. It was, aside from the weird CGI, it was all right.
Right. Okay. That's fair enough. So this movie rated PG-13, hour and 44 minutes, 2,640 ratings on IMDb for an 8.0 out of 10. Where about do you sit?
I'll give it like a 7.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sitting more around an 8, maybe a little bit above, but not too much. I'm a sucker for this series, and I mean, even though there's a lot of holes and it was a bit pointless in the end, I still enjoy this. So, one thing it says, Horikoshi, who writes the original series, was the writer for this, which seemed kind of odd. I get that it's his IP and everything, but I would have thought that somebody else had written this movie based on, how loosely it was tied in, but it seemed like there were some holes that, if it was a different writer, it would have made perfect sense.
Yeah, it feels like a fan fiction.
Yeah, something like, maybe Horikoshi's buddy or something, somebody who's very familiar with it, but had this idea, like, you know how that goes. You read, let's say you read Iron Man Forever, and You're just like, I have this idea for him. Let me call Marvel. I mean, even though they wouldn't.
I'm picturing someone just being like, and the bad guy's like super powerful. He's lightning, can destroy your entire city in like 10 seconds, and the wolf can punch through anything, and it's got a laser like brrr.
A 12-year-old wrote this.
And then Bakugo gets the one for all, and they punch the sky together.
He breaks his arm, but it doesn't matter.
And he doesn't even break his arm. He just turns it like a purple, like a really cool, like purple.
Of course.
And then he does this hamster wheel of fire move and punches the guy.
So,
my enactment of the writing of this movie.
yeah, I like it.
I think I nailed it.
Yeah. So don't forget to follow us on Twitter, MediaMen Online, MediaMen.podbean.com for full podcast episodes, YouTube.com/C/MediaMen. Like, share, comment, subscribe, please. Everything, especially the share. You know, I just, more ears this gets to. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. Let us know, what we can do better for you. All that good stuff. You got anything else for us, Jeremy?
Nah.
So we will catch you guys later.
Till next time.